Greetings and welcome to the Success Formula Show. I am Muhammad Yusuf, host of Success Formula Show. Today we have very amazing personality with us. He is doing a lot of things at the same time. He is the CEO and founder of EFA Movement, business executive coach, corporate trainer, keynote speaker, award-winning author, and radio show host. What else is left? He is doing a lot of things at the same time. Okay, give me a warm welcome to our today's guest, Christopher Salem. Welcome, Christopher.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me.
Let me start with this. Where were you? What happened? Who were you surrounded with that inspired you to do what you do today?
There's been so many people that have inspired me, life experiences, people that I've met. But I can always say that the person that really got me started on this journey and being the example and being a resource for others, that includes people and companies, was the late, great Jim Rohn. And Jim Rohn is spelled with an Rohn. And since I was a teenager, I can remember listening to Jim because Jim goes way, way back. And so many things that he spoke on just really helped me to grow into the man and the leader that I am today.
Amazing, amazing. Okay, what are the top 3 success secrets which others can get as a cheat sheet and implement right now in their business?
So some of the things that people could do, it all starts first with how we think. Many times people are caught up in the do and the have, meaning they're always looking for the latest tactic, the latest process or system that's going to help accelerate or take them to the next level. And all those things are great and all those things can work. However, what the issue is that a lot of times people don't think in a correct way to become. There's no foundation. So if anything is going to build upon your success, it has to have a foundation, especially if you're going to sustain it. So it's how we think in the moment, not attached to the emotion, to the outcome, but you have a goal and you focus on the process in the moment. So when we can learn to think in the moment and not in the past and the future through mental toughness, learning how to connect and communicate with other people based upon shared values, that foundation allows us now to become, now to do and have different and better results. So that would be number one. Number two, it's the ability that you have to implement a daily routine. Not only a daily routine for yourself, but also for your business. So you have to ask yourself, are the things that you do serving you or not? And if they're not serving you or taking you to the next level personally, then it's adopting certain habits and disciplines that are going to help elevate your mental toughness, your ability to take on more challenges and persevere and come out victorious on the other end, to take on more responsibility. And it's the same thing in your business, doing certain things with you and your staff in order to do things that are going to elevate your business to the next level, to become better communicators, better listeners, better leaders in each of your role and duties. And number three is having a plan. If you don't have a plan, you're not going to be able to execute those first two things. So having a daily plan, communicating that through a daily huddle with each of your team members, the people you're working with, so that you understand and can relate to each other's role and duties as it applies to the task at hand. Successful businesses move ahead with that philosophy, and when they can complement each other's role and duties, not depend upon each other. That is what we call an interdependent work environment that will build higher engagement, higher retention, higher productivity, and efficiency for your business. And because you will relate and understand your customers better, that will increase revenue and more referrals to your business.
Exactly. The power of now and daily routine and have a plan. Wonderful. Thank you. Okay, Chris, what are the top 3 mistakes that every business owner should avoid in their business?
So a lot of times the mistakes are we keep doing the same things over and over. So it's learning to know that we are never going to be great at everything. So many business people that tend to take on everything are oftentimes going to be met with these hurdles, that they're going to be caught up in the things that they're not good at. So it's very important that we recognize that we do take our inventory. What are we good at? What are we not good at? What are our strengths? What are our weaknesses? Leverage your strengths and offset your weaknesses. Find another person or people that can do the things that you do not do well, that they do well. You can also look at different resources and systems that could help you to do that as well. So those are some of the mistakes that people make over and over again. Another thing too is that you're never going to be everything for everyone. Many times in business, we think that we're going to be everything for everyone. We go out of our way to persuade and convince people to buy our products and services. That's not the reality. People buy not just because of what you offer. They buy based upon a connection on shared values, that you've built rapport with them to determine what's really important to them, which may have nothing to do with your product or service. But if you could come across as a trusted advisor and know how to connect on a shared value or values, determine the rules they'd like to be communicated to, and get to what's really important, when you show up as the trusted advisor, more likely they're going to see how your product or service can help them in some capacity, and you're influencing them to draw their own conclusion to make that decision. You're not persuading or convincing them. That's often another mistake that people make in business. They go chasing people and trying to persuade and convince people to buy their products and services. Number three, another mistake that business owners make is they don't have an exit strategy. And what an exit strategy means is, where is your business now? Where is it going? And when do you plan to exit? Now, you may not be planning to exit anytime soon, but if you don't have an exit strategy, what if something happens? Something changes in your industry. You become ill or terminally ill, and now you have to either shut down the business or sell the business. If you don't have an exit strategy in place, you may be forced now to get out of a business that you put a lot of heart and soul, money and resources into, and maybe walk away with nothing. So it's very important that you have an exit strategy, even though you may not know exactly when you're going to exit, but knowing that you have something in place in the event if something unforeseen or out of your control happens to do so.
Exactly, wonderful. Know your weaknesses and strengths, and people will buy when they need it. Not everyone is not going to buy everything.
Yes.
And another last thing is exit strategy. You have to have exit strategy. Wonderful. Thank you, Christopher. Okay, what are your future plans to grow your business?
Future plans are just continuously progress and motion. So as an executive coach, even though I work with business leaders of all types and work with organizations, doesn't mean that I graduated and I don't work on myself. I am a work in progress each and every day. So I constantly commit to my daily routine personally in my business, always looking for new ideas, new creative techniques and processes. But it always comes down to making sure that my foundation is always taken care of, so I don't have any cracks where things can now begin to fall apart. So it's continuously to develop myself personally and professionally. Those are some of the things that I'm looking to move ahead. Number two is looking for different ways to automate things that are a weakness to me or that can make my business more efficient. That's another thing that I do. And number three, some things I continue to do is to continue to leverage the strengths that have allowed me to continue to grow my business. That is through speaking, doing podcasts, radio shows. Just like I'm here with you right now on a podcast, I'm having the ability to share my knowledge and allowing you to decide what that means to you. Now, if it's compelling to you, you feel like I've related to you and I understand you on some level, even though we're not talking face to face, but you're just hearing the message and it resonates with you, more than likely that may help me to generate a conversation with someone. Perhaps maybe down the road that I could help them and their business move forward. So those are the things that I do to keep developing the business to move forward.
Wonderful. And what challenges are you facing right now in your business?
The challenges are just a lot of times unforeseen circumstances, things, changes in the industry, things that are going on in the economy, and so on. One of the things that I've learned is that we can only control what we can control. We can't control other things. As human beings, we get caught up in the control we can't control. That's the economy, inflation, COVID. That could be other people. I can't control other people. I can't control things outside of me. I can only control what is within inside of me. My communication to myself and others, my behavior, my attitude happening for me, not to me. Big difference. My emotions, how I respond to challenges and situations, and my daily action. As long as I focus on those 5 things I can control every day, I can go through any challenge and see it as an opportunity, a blessing, and knowing when I get on the other side, I've learned something. I now can be it to become it, and now I can do things differently to have different and better results.
Okay, got it. And what is the single most failure in your professional life? What lesson have you learned and how did you recover from it?
Failure is ongoing. I wouldn't say that I've had just one major. I've had several, but I embrace failure because failure is your greatest teacher. If you're going to grow and have success, you don't learn from your successes. You learn from your failures and how you apply it. Now, either when you have failure, you either can succumb to it where your mind can tell you you're not worth it, you're not good enough, and then you're going to take yourself out. Or you could say, hey, what can I learn and do differently? What is within my control? What is not within my control? So I would say that the greatest failure that I had was back 25 years ago when I made a major change from shifting away from being a codependent, which was passive aggressive in my communication behavior, and a perfectionist because I knew it all and I couldn't trust other people to do the things that were going to be to the level I were looking for. I severed relationships. I crumbled businesses as a result of it. All of that shift in the way I think and communicate and made decisions and how I related and understood people differently made a huge change. So that was the greatest failure, and in this case became the greatest blessing that made that shift for me to where I am today in the last 25 years and how I look at life and how I do business.
Wow, you have learned a lesson from your failure. It was not a failure, it was a teacher for you. What do you want to accomplish in life?
My accomplishment is to impact as many people as I can, that anything that they can dream to make a reality is possible when you can learn to think a different way. I think from a place of mental toughness, trusting the process of learning to shift away from attachments to outcomes to bring it into the moment, learning how to control what you can in the moment, letting go of the control you can't control, and allowing the process to play out to the results you seek. Those are the things that I'm looking to impact with people and to overcome their limiting beliefs that get in their way of being all they can possibly be, including organizations.
Wonderful. And people who are watching this right now, how can they support you and where can they find you?
People can find me on LinkedIn. I'm always available. I'm on all social media channels, but that's the one I usually are on most of the time. They could also check me out at Christopher Salem, one word, ChristopherSalem.com, or they can reach out to me on my email at CHRIS, at ChristopherSalem.com. Best place to reach me.
What would you say as a final word?
I would just like to leave everyone with this quote, a quote that I came up with several years ago, and not just to hear it, but to actually write it down and apply it in your life. And I'll briefly explain it. Give without expectation, receive without resistance. Now, here's what this means. When you give without expectation, you're not going out of your way to do and please and enable people. That is codependent behavior. That is not going to help somebody or help you. You're going to keep somebody stuck and you're going to exhaust yourself. When you give without expectation, you're doing it from empathy and kindness. You're being the example of that through your communication, through your behavior, through your attitude, your emotions, and your action. You're being a resource for people so that they can help themselves do for them as you've done for yourself. That's the difference. That is interdependent behavior. Big difference from pleasing and enabling. And knowing when to put up a healthy boundary that someone is not codependently looking to take too much of your energy as well. So give without expectation and receive without resistance, meaning when it does come back from wherever it comes back, as long as it serves you, your well-being, your relationships in your business, and it's positive, you receive without resistance. Because when you do that, you're going to be able to recirculate that energy to other people around you through your example and resourcefulness. It's powerful. A lot of people hear it and say, that sounds awesome, but they don't do anything with it.
Amazing.
Just apply it every day. Write it down on a piece of paper, put it in the corner of your mirror and look at it every day and apply that. I will guarantee you over time, if you do that every day, you will see a difference and see results, better results in your life and your business.
Amazing, amazing quote. Like, I really love this quote. Okay, Christopher, thank you so much for sharing your wisdom with us on the behalf of Integrated Success Formula and my entire team. Stay blessed. Have a good day.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.